These days, it's really rare for anyone in my line of work to ever find themselves in danger. Cargo ships are big, the loot can be valuable, but boardings almost never happen, and if pirates ever do come across you, and take an interest, and be willing to risk it for a few dozen K, then, well, you're dead. They'll blow your ship to pieces, and your body will float into the expanse, lost forever. Working as ship security on the vessels around the Stanton system isn't everyone's first choice of profession in the verse. It's an easy job, definitely more suited to my tastes than patrolling on the surface of any planet in the long dark nights and scorching afternoons and that inescapable feeling of complete and total vulnerability. It's a strange thing to say that I feel more alone out in the wilderness than I do out here. The insularity of the ship and the recycled atmosphere can be claustrophobic for some and comforting for others, and I typically find myself in the latter crowd. It seems to me my space legs have come to me easily. I enjoy the downtime on the ship, and I get a lot of time to read and to think, which I never had the luxury of while at work planetside. And of course, last of all, and arguably most importantly, because something about being out here is just beautiful. Were it not for the occasional pirate, I think it could be just the closest to a utopia a being could get. The sheer scope and size of it all, the panoramas, the absolute stillness, and the noise aboard the ship. That humming and throb of the engine can be mesmerizing, and I found myself drifting to sleep in the turrets on a long system crawl after staying up too late the night before my shift. There's been no real trouble, so far, and I think that the odds of me ever encountering anything that the turrets of any of these cargo ships couldn't handle is so astronomically small, it's unlikely I'll ever see a boarding action before I'm vaporized or thrown into the vacuum with whatever's in me in that particular ship compartment. Yet, I'm sure the day may come. It's not today, and that's what I tell myself every day. That's how I'm coping with the prospect of seeing a pirate look down their barrel at me with murderous intention, or having to put an end to one myself. A flash of light and heat, and there's blood floating in a depressurized ship, and one of us has made their last mistake. That's a whole other bucket of worms. It's easier in my mind to see their ship blip out in a flash of light than it will ever be to pull a trigger and see that light disappear from their eyes. I've never shot someone in real life, and the only experience I have doing it was in training sims, which are frankly terrifying, and I've never been good at any of them, and my scores have only ever been passable, but always just barely. I am getting better at it. Getting the nerve to do simulations more often will come in due time, and we don't tell that bit to our clients. After all, I'm almost positive I'll never actually have to use my firearms. I keep them mostly for show, and I feel like it's more for the comfort of the pilot than for mine. Being that they don't know I've never seen real action, when asked if I've ever been in an action, I'll tell them I have enough experience, and I'm confident I can handle any likely scenarios, knowing full well that by likely, I mean that it is unlikely that we'll see any kind of action. Still, it's my stupid boat, and I'm going to sail it until I master it, or I find something else that I enjoy doing more. I do have long-term dreams. I'm saving up to be a privateer, at the head of my own ship, and on my own terms, making money how I'd like to make it. For now, though, I'll have to learn how to follow, and follow well before I can learn how to lead. My own frigate will come, someday, with some support from my friends and the crewmates, wherever they are. We have a long way to go. It takes a long time to get anywhere. It is space after all. But it gives me a thrill, and seeing Stanton's planets from atmosphere never gets old. Well, it can. When you've been waiting in orbit while a trucker sat over their mobiGlass, watching the prices drop and raise, and cursing when they've looked away for just a second too long, and their calculated gamble turns into a financial mishap. Sometimes they make good money, and others not so much. I generally get paid, and paid well, and having enough credits to afford a frigate is taking a long time, and a ship like that is just engines and some cargo space without a crew. Finding my way and meeting folks who are interested in the same prospects as me has to come first.
Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you like this, leave a comment, subscribe, let me know what else you'd like to see. Thanks very much. See you next time.